termites, I'm out. It's not that bad. Don't let that scare you away from a prospective home. Don't be afraid of these 5 things when you're buying a home in northern New Jersey. All right, item number 1 is the water heater. When you're looking at a home as a buyer, you may see an older water heater. I don't think this is anything for you to worry about. At most, you could be spending $1,800, maybe $2,000. And of all things that could go wrong in the home, the roof, a foundation issue, your sewer line, your boiler, your furnace, any of these items, your AC system, these are really heavy bills, tens of thousands of dollars. Your water heater, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Don't let that scare you away from a prospective home. Number 2, termites. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't worry at all about termites. I'm just saying often termites are like a buzzword. When buyers hear termites, they run. They're just like, no, termites, I'm out. In reality, get your inspection done. If your inspector says, you might have wood destroying insects, there's some evidence that they were here in the past, get a second inspection done. Get the experts in, learn the info before you go running. You oftentimes, most of the time, you will be able to push back on the seller and get a credit for something like that. But maybe it's only one beam that has some partial damage. Maybe it's only a couple of pieces that have some wood that has been damaged a little bit. It's not a make or break in a home. Do extra due diligence. Don't be scared if you hear termite damage. It might not be as bad as you think. Number 3, bad odors. I once walked into a house with a client and the selling agent was at the door, and before we even walked in, he said, I just want to let you guys know the house smells like cat piss. You may not want that as a buyer, but guess what? Nobody else wants it either. So that's going to thin out your competition and maybe you'll have a better chance. There are companies out there that specialize in cleaning homes, specifically cleaning odors out of homes. If it's cigarettes, if it's age, if it's cat piss, if it's some other animal, that can all be repaired, that can be remediated, that can be cleaned, and you might not have to pay as much money for that home because of it. So just stay open-minded. Again, do your due diligence, and it might be something where you can get some opportunity out of a situation. Number 4, this one may be obvious, but ugly paint. Again, of all things in a home for you to fix, painting a house is relatively cheap. Some people will walk in and see, that 90s theme. You have like the bright blue bathroom, the bright pink. You have some crazy colors involved. You might not want that day one, but you can paint the home. You can improve that to your aesthetic, however you would want it. Other people, again, may be deterred because of some ugly paint colors. If you're swiping on your apps and you see this property, you might not even give it a shot. You might not even go to look at it because of the paint colors. So anywhere where as a buyer, you're up against fewer people, you could have an advantage. You might be able to save some money. So don't be worried about ugly paint. You can easily fix that. You can easily change that. All right, number 5 is a leak. Sometimes there could be an active leak in a home, and that could scare a lot of people away. I've been on inspections before where we're running water, and there's literally a waterfall coming through the living room on the 1st floor because of a sink on the 3rd floor. That can be terrifying. You're not sure where it's coming from. If you find yourself in that position, do some extra due diligence. It could be an easy fix. That scenario that I'm talking about was probably a 1-foot long piece of pipe, and it was probably, you could fix it for a few $100s. And then once that's done, you're no longer going to have that leak, and you're no longer going to have a problem. Just because there's an active leak isn't the end of the world. You might be able to find it. It might be a small issue. Again, do your due diligence. If it's something major and you need to redo the whole roof or replace the whole roof, run that in your numbers and make sure you're comfortable as a buyer buying a home with that issue. But don't just run because you see an active leak. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jordan Zuber, your local Northern New Jersey real estate expert. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you think there's another item that buyers typically overreact to.